If I decide to help you through the difficulties you're going, does that mean you must now bring shit in our house? If I'm a good person and say, you know what, brother, I can see you going through a difficult time. You're struggling. Family's not okay. You're not earning any money. Let me get you in my house. You're going to stay by the cottage. You can stay by the cottage, no problem, okay? I can give you some money from time to time since I can see you've got responsibilities. You got a wife, you got children. I can help you. Does that now mean that you can do whatever you want? You can play the music loud until 2 o'clock in the morning? Or you can pray until 5 o'clock in the morning loudly? No. Does that make me a bad person when I say, you know what, brother? You've been here for some time. I don't think I want you to stay here anymore. I've changed my mind. Does that make me a bad person? Well, if I decide to put you in my house, dude, you can occupy one of the bedrooms because you're a family member, because you're a close friend. Does that mean you can't buy bread in a corner and bring in the house? Just because you're going through a difficult time financially? I mean, you can still bring bread. You can still buy sugar if you can't buy a meal. You can at least do something. If you cannot contribute financially in any other way because you're going through a very serious strain, you could wash the dishes. How about that? You could make sure the toilet seat is clean. You don't just shit in the toilet and leave those things sticking on the wall of the toilet. You can at least make sure everybody's, experience is comfortable because you're around. The mother of the house, even though you're not paying anything, you can make sure things are clean so she's happy. Now, fellas, South Africa has been very good to many countries. I mean, we need to acknowledge that. I know many people don't like acknowledging that. We need to acknowledge that. South Africa has been very good with many countries, but now South Africa is not very happy anymore. South Africa has been accepting many people from various places in Africa. Not just Africa. Palestinians as well. But South Africa has had enough. Visa exemption scrapped. The South African Home Affairs Department has announced the end of the 90 days visa exemption for Palestinians, sparkling outrage among many activists. Obviously, they're very angry. No more 90-day free visa for Palestinians. Why? Because they're coming illegally. I mean, you have 90 days visa, but now somebody's planning to bring you in South Africa and flock in all of you. Now, why has this occurred? This has occurred after 2 mysterious airplanes landed in South Africa filled with Palestinians. One had 151 passengers, the other one had about 110 passengers. You need to understand that historically, South Africa and Palestine have had good relationship from Nelson Mandela to Yasser Arafat, long time ago. Why? Because South Africans and Palestinians feel like they understand each other based on their history. South Africa, black people went through apartheid, where they were segregated, put to the side. They were minimized, they were degraded. They see it very similar to what Palestinians are experiencing, or have been experiencing for a long time. That's why Mandela and Arafat were very good friends. Mandela even said, South Africa cannot declare itself free if Palestine continues to be in the shackle of apartheid.
Those territories should be returned to the Arab people. Mr. Mandela.
Against Israel. Now, what has occurred? Can Palestinians leave Palestine now without the authorities that you know not knowing about it? It's not possible. A Palestinian cannot leave Palestine and go to any other place without them knowing that a Palestinian has left. So, a flight coming from Palestine through Nairobi, then going to Johannesburg, must 100% be approved by somebody. Now, who's that somebody? People are reflecting Israel. Why? Because obviously, South Africa took Israel to court a while back, accusing them of genocide against Palestinians. South Africa was actually the only country that had the guts to do that, because many of the countries, especially in Africa, are very scared. Okay? You don't want to derange over there. South Africa is very brave. We need to acknowledge that. Very brave in many instances. Well, they're scared of other things, but when it comes to that, they are brave. Unfortunately, not many African countries supported them when they went to accuse Israel, except Namibia's president, who's passed. Anyway, now South Africa feels like because they took Israel to court, now Israel is trying to find a way. Okay, you guys took us to court because of these people, right? You say you love them more than we love them. How about you take them now? We're going to give them documentation. We will make sure they don't get a stamp indicating they've left the country, because every Palestinian that landed in South Africa had a passport with no exit stamp. You traveled before, right? You understand you must have an exit stamp and an entry stamp. None of the Palestinians had an exit stamp, but they managed to travel from Palestine to Nairobi to South Africa. Now, the question is this one. When they landed in Nairobi, didn't Nairobi know that there was Palestinians in the airplane that were not necessarily legal? I mean, when you fly to a plane, you send documentation about your flight, right? The country must know who are coming, okay? So what happened? Did Israel and Nairobi talk about this, or Israel played everybody? Now, obviously, South Africa sees that this is an opportunity, it's an opening they can use, because they have 90 days visa allowing Palestinians to go and visit South Africa. They can use it to send as many Palestinians to South Africa as much as possible. And obviously, as much as South Africa has been fighting for Palestine, does that mean South Africa should accept every single Palestinian in the country? That's not practical, okay? And you can't start saying, no, you can't come inside, because it makes no sense for the people. They will say, you are the people that took us to court for Palestinians. Now it's your responsibility to take them in. Obviously, that makes no sense. Now, many activists are very angry, not happy with South Africa's move, saying it's unnecessarily evil. Now, how can you cancel the 90 days visa? This means every Palestinian have to apply for a visa to South Africa. Well, this has happened before. It's not a brand new situation. The UK, for instance, cancelled visa-free access to Botswana. You see Botswana on the map? Yes, Botswana used to go to the UK with no problem, no issue. You just take your passport. Just imagine, take your passport. Maybe let's go, jump on an airplane and fly. I mean, some of you guys, let me put it this way. You're American, especially Canadian. You don't know the struggle of getting a visa. Just trying to visit a country for tourist reason, for just curiosity. You don't know the struggle. People in Africa pray for visas. They get into fasting and prayers, 3 days, 7 days trying to get a visa just to travel to a foreign land. People in Africa sell their land, sell their houses so they can corrupt somebody in the system who will allow them, somebody perhaps who works for an embassy, who will speak for them so they can get a visa. Now, many African countries still allow many Europeans and Americans to come into Africa visa-free, if not 90 days visa exempted. Many Africans allow Europeans to come to their countries with no problem, but they cannot go to Europe in the same token. Okay, that's very sad. Now, Botswana used to go to UK with no problem. With a Botswanan passport, you can go to the UK, no need for visas. Very lately in September 2025, Botswana announced the launch of a citizenship investment program. So basically, Botswana was saying to the people, if you are a citizen of any other country, you want to come and be Botswanan, citizen, you can invest. Why did Botswana do this? Botswana said they need to diversify the economy. Botswana has a lot of diamonds, but they want to have more than just diamonds, okay? They want to invest in technology, invest in energy, and many other things. That's what Botswana said. From now on, if you have $75,000, you can come to my country and I will issue a passport. Now, why is a Botswana passport interesting? Because Botswana passport is better than many African passports. It's right on top. It allows people to go to many countries visa-free, including the UK. Now, the UK also saw that. They say, you know what, guys, we don't want you anymore, okay? You need to apply for a visa. Because they felt like that was an opening they cannot control, because then the Nigerians can get... No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, anybody can get a visa or a passport from Botswana and fly to the UK. Especially many African countries that the UK doesn't necessarily give a visa easily. That's the situation. So this is not the first time Israel has tried to take people out of the country and send them somewhere else. Because clearly you can see they prefer it being with themselves, which is not necessarily bad if you ever land. However, in the past, in 2025, Israel trying to send Palestinians to Sudan. Leave Israel, go live in Sudan. That's a foreign land. Why would I leave my place and go stay in Sudan? I will never be. Look at the state of Sudan. People unalived every single day. They've also tried to send people to Jordan. In Africa, they've tried to send people to Rwanda. They've tried to send people to Chad to go stay there. There've been an account of America trying to send Taliban to go stay, it was the Taliban in Afghanistan, to go stay in Uganda forever. I mean, it's all nice because you understand they're going through a difficult time. You're trying to help. Now, when they have babies and more and stuff, and those babies want their right, because they will want their right. They say, I'm a citizen, I was born here. This is not new. It has happened many, many places in the past. What's going to happen? What's going to happen when the Palestinians that are accepted in South Africa and they have children finally say, you know what, we don't like the way the country is run. It's just an hypothetical potential situation. Are you going to say, no, you need to get out? I mean, it becomes very complicated. What if they say, you know what, we are warriors. We fought throughout our lives from our country. We know how to create bombs and stuff. What do you do? Has South Africa done wrong by cancelling this 90 days visa exemption to Palestine? Can you fight for somebody's cause without necessarily having to lie on the floor for them and let everything walk over you? Let me know how you feel about this. It was a great pleasure. God bless you.